course, the FPV drone. But not an actual FPV drone. The FPV drone is this FPV drone. Oh my god.
The new DJI FPV Drone is here, and it comes with a single-hand controller.
Will this drone change the way how we filmmakers use them? Will this one single-hand controller change and be a paradigm shift? I'm super excited. I haven't been this excited since I was an unborn child. Let's go. Today we got the DJI FPV combo, and what's included right here? The goggles for the FPV system, a controller, pretty nice and developed, we'll see that in a second, and of course the drone with one battery and some extra props. The single head controller is the thing that excites me the most, and you can buy that apart from the combo, and we're going to review this also in a sec. Well guys, the first thing is let you know that we're not FPV professionals, right? We're filmmakers, we use drones for a living, but this is something completely new and different, and it's going to be exciting to see how someone that has literally no experience in FPV drones, because we use drones, but normal regular drones for filmmaking and as a living, but not FPV drones. Now, is it the DJI FPV drone going to be capable of giving us that have no experience nice footage? We'll see this now. Well, I just took off. It was super easy by, putting the sticks down like you usually do with the DJI drones. The first mode, the beginner mode, is it's super responsive, easy to fly. I am a little bit scared yet. Wow, it's pretty awesome. I mean, it's flying pretty fast. I'm a little bit scared, but look at this. Look at how it moves to the side, it moves up. Right now I'm flying in the sport mode. I changed to sport mode, and hey, Jivo, I'm a professional FPV pilot. Look at this, look at this. About the immersive experience, I was a little bit scared, but look at this. I mean, we're surrounded by stones and mountains and we're in a lake, but I'm not losing the signal at any moment, and it's super responsive. I think it's like 27 milliseconds latency, which is just crazy, and it's so crystal clear inside the goggles. I mean, oh my god, I just can't believe it. Right now I'm in the sport mode. I could go into the manual mode, but I'm a little bit scared. I mean, this is more than enough. It's flying super fast. I don't know exactly how much, but it's super fast. And for film, content and cinematic shots, it's more than enough, man. This is incredible. I'm feeling really like an FPV pilot right now. Chivo, this was a super nice experience. It's one of my first FPV experience, but I'm really super hyped, and Let me just fly it again. Well, Chivo, if you remember, the only FPV experience that we've had in this channel was an absolute disaster. That was an analog transmission system. The drone was losing the signal. We crashed it like twice. It was a disaster. But right now, the difference is that this is really for everyone. And I thought and I felt that this is really beginner friendly. So that's something that DJI has developed very, very well. Please guys, like and sub, and I'm giving you my word right here, right now, that if at some point we get to 100k subs, I'm gonna give this for free to you guys. Well guys, right now there's a new firmware, it's updating, and I wanted to say, while we wait, thank you for all the people that have purchased my sunglasses. It's our own personal branded project, and thank you to all those people, because I always say, like, please support and help me through the purchase of sunglasses, but I never actually say thank you, so thank you very much, guys. Guys, for the single hand controller, I'm gonna sit down for a sec because I'm getting a little bit dizzy after so much flying, like regular FPV drones, and let's see how this single hand controller performs. Okay, real use of this controller. Now this is like the throttle, this trigger is like the throttle, and if you move it like this, oh my god, look at this, it goes left and right, and if you go like down and up, this is great guys, this is really a revolution. To stop after all these crazy feelings for a sec to talk about the Ocusync 3.0, because DJI has developed the 2.0 that we had on the Mavic 2 Pro, Mavic Air 2 into the 3.0, and this is just one of the best things of this combo. First of all, there's 7 milliseconds latency from the joystick to the drone, which is pretty much nothing, and 28 milliseconds for the image live transmission from the drone to the goggles. This is just insane, and I want to make sure that you guys understand this, because you have 120 frames per second live view on the goggles, which makes it a super immersive experience. Honestly, I'm super surprised by this FPV system. And to support what I'm saying, I want to show you that actually you can see what's inside being filmed with this file. You see MSN, it's normal, sport and manual mode. Guys, this the 3 modes from the DJI FPV drone. They are super important. If you're a beginner, you have no experience at all, and you want to fly this drone like a regular Mavic, go into the normal mode. The S is like the intermediate level, it's sport mode, and it maintains the altitude and the pitch and the angle. You know, they are a little bit limited, but you can now fly up to 80 km/h. Before on the normal mode, you could just only fly up to 50 km/h. And finally, the M, the full manual mode, it goes to people that really have some experience. Even though the drone is still maintaining an altitude, it's similar to the angle mode. Pitch and roll are limited to a particular angle and the drone will not flip. However, you can turn that off and go into the full Acro Mode. And this is for the bravest people. No leveling, no assistance at all, no sensors, no nothing. But emergency brake and hover are still available if you want to press a button. Back in the studio, I wanted to talk briefly about the DJI Fly app, and it's pretty much, as you can see here, super simple to use. There's not really much you can do wrong. You have on the left a button to take off automatically. You can change on the right side the 4K, Full HD and all that. According on the top right corner, you can enter the usual things to change, like the altitude and all those settings. For example, on the camera you can also change into RAW mode and all that. Well, basically the thing is that on this drone it is special because you're not going to be using too much the DJI Fly app, because it's something that it's going to be especially for activating the drone or in order to upgrade firmwares or stuff like this. On the other hand, as we have on this side here, that you can change pretty much anything here. For example, we can go calibrate the drone. You can pretty much change everything on the camera, like the parameters if you want to go into the manual mode, or change the ISO, the shutter speed and all that. You can also change the video format and a bunch of things that it's going to be awesome, because eventually you're not going to be using the phone at all. And finally, not to forget also the DJI virtual flight system, which is going to be awesome. It's going to be an app for you to test the drone and fly virtually before you go out and crash this thing. So you may want to spend some hours there before you actually purchase the drone, or even, you know, go out and fly it really. Oh my god, guys, it just sounds like Lewis Hamilton in a Formula One. Oh my god. We were just off the camera recording one last time because we wanted to see how the battery performs when it's completely out, and the scary thing was that the goggles turned off in the middle of the flight and we got like super scared, but we could, you know, visually bring the drone back, and well, this happened. To finish off this video, I wanted to give you my feelings, because eventually you're here for the feelings, right? And let me talk about the things that I didn't like too much right from the beginning. The first thing was this battery. This battery, look at how small this is. You know, we have 3 batteries for the drone, and this didn't last as long as 3 drone batteries, which means that we had to break our footage, we had to stop filming because it had not more battery. So eventually you may want to purchase a couple of these. And the other not so good thing that I didn't like too much are all these cables. I mean, at some point I felt like I was wired. This cable, you gotta connect this to the goggles and put somewhere, because you don't want to have batteries close to the head. But there's another cable, that's this one, to your phone. And okay, you're not gonna be needing that all the time, but at some point you gotta adjust stuff or upgrade or firmware or whatever. So maybe in the next versions they can think a little bit about how to avoid these things. And guys, before talking about the positive, just let you know that this drone is a hybrid drone between a regular Mavic filmmaking drone and an FPV drone. So it takes the best but also the worst out of both worlds. By that, of course, I mean that you won't really be able to take you know, landscape shots and footage the same way you did on a Mavic 2 Pro, because at first I thought this drone was gonna be like, you know, like a Mavic, but with a wider field of view, a little bit faster, and to get a kind of different footage. But it's not exactly the same. It does really get into the FPV world. It does really get into a speed and to that crazy feeling of being flying really fast and a little bit scared of crashing it. However, the good thing, of course, is the FPV transmission system is just... that left me speechless. Crystal clear on the goggles, super immersive, no latency at all. The way, and you know, I was actually gaining confidence, as I told you before, while I was flying, to be improving with this drone. So if you do remember, the first experience we did have was a disaster with an E-Chine fully FPV drone. Overall, this drone is ready to be flown, and you just can, every beginner can do it, because we don't really care about getting a piece and apart from here, the camera from there, and then getting into Banggood, and then here and AliExpress and all that. That was all the things that we said as non-FPV pilots, you know what, just leave it for someone else. But with this one, this opens a new window that people like myself and Chivo can be really interested in flying this type of drones. So summing this up in one sentence, I would say, like, I'm impressed. I'm impressed and I'm excited, because it's the first time in the past probably 3 or 4 years that I'm excited to be flying a drone again, because this wasn't enough. This didn't happen to me in the past years. And nothing really else to say, guys. We have tons of content ready. We have 15 more videos coming at the time that you're watching this video. They are all scheduled, probably, maybe not finished, but we're gonna be releasing them. So we're gonna be comparing the camera. We're gonna be doing, of course, the crash test. We're gonna be doing, explaining how the controllers work, the FPV system, tons of content. So if you're not subbed, it's a right moment to sub, leave the thumb, and no more talking. Always remember to keep calm and talk UAV.